108.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'yei hamed v'tzedek. Vayehi ish echad min haramatayim sofim behar Ephraim ushmo Elkanah ben Yerocham ben Elihu ben Techu ben Suf Ephrati velo shtei nashim shem achad Chana v'shem hashenin Penina, Vayehi livnina yeladim, Uchana en yeladim. Vela haish hahu meru miyamim yamima, lishtachad ulizboach, l'Adonai tzevot b'shilo, v'sham shnei bnei li, Chofni unfinchas Kohanim l'Adonai. Vayehi hayom uzboach Elkanah v'natan livnina yishto u'kol baneha uvnoteha manot uchana yitein manachat apayim ki Elkanah ohev v'Adonai sagar rachma v'chiyasata sarata gam koas bavor harima ki sagar Adonai beyad rachma v'chen yaseh shana v'shona midei alota beveit Adonai ken tachlisena v'tivke v'lo tochal vayomer la Elkanah isha chana lamed tivki v'lamed lo tochli v'lamed yera levavech halo anochi tov lach masher rabbanim v'takam chana acharei achla b'shilo v'acharei shato V'elei hakohen yoshev al hakiseh amezuzot heichal Adonai.
Vehi marat nafesh vatidor neder vatomar Adonai tzvaot imra'ot tir'eh be'ani amatecha Uzkartani velo tishkach et amatecha v'natata lamatcha zera anashim untativ l'Adonai kol yemei chayav umara lo yale al rosho v'haya ki hirbeta lihipalel lifnei Adonai Ve'eli shomer epiha Ve'chana hi medaberet aliba rak sfateha na'ot ve'kola lo yishamea ve'yachshveha eli lishikora vayomer eleha eli ad matai tishtakarin hasiri eyenech me'elayich vata'an chana vatomer lo adoni isha kshat ruach anochi ve'yayin v'shechar lo shatiti va'eshvoch et nafshi lifnei Adonai Al titain et amatecha lifnei bat Belial כי מרוב שיחי וכעסי דיברתי עד הנה. ויען אלי ויאמר לכי לשלום, ואלוהי ישראל ייתן את שאלתך אשר שאלת מאמו, ותאמר תמצא שפחתך חן בעיניך, ותלך האישה לדרכה ותאכל, ופניה לא היו לה עוד. וישכימו בבוקר, וישתחוו לפני אדוני, וישובו, ויבואו אל ביתם הרמתה, וידע אלקנה את חנה אשתו, ויזכרה אדוני.
ויהי לכפות הימים ותחר הנה, ותלד בן, ותקרא את שמו שמואל, כי מאדוני שליטיב, ויעל האיש אלקנה וכל ביתו, לזבוח לאדוני את זבח הימים ואת נדרו, וחנה לא עלתה, כי אמרה לאישה, יגמר הנער והבית אותי, ונראה את פני אדוני, וישב שם עד עולם. ויאמר לך אלקנה אישה, עשי הטוב בעינייך, שביר אגמלך אותו, אך יקם אדוני את דברו, ותשב האישה, ותנק את בנה, עד גמלה אותו, ותעלהו עמה, כאשר גמלתו. בפרים שלושה, ויפה אחת קמח, ונבל יין, ותביאהו בית אדוני שילה, וכנער נער, וישחטו את הפר, ויביאהו את הנער אל אלי. ותאמר באדוני, חי נפשך אדוני, אני האישה הניצבת עמך בזה, להיפלל אל אדוני. על הנער הזה התפללתי, ויתן אדוני לי את שאלתי, אשר שאלתי מאמו. וגם אנוכי השליתיהו לאדוני, כל הימים אשר היה הוא שאול לאדוני, וישתחו שם לאדוני.
ותתפלל חנה ותאמר, עלץ ליבי באדוני, רמה קרני באדוני, רחב פי על אויבי, כי שמחתי בישועתך. אין קדוש כאדוני, כי אין בלתי בלתך, ואין צור כאלוהינו. אל תרבו תדברו גבוהה גבוהה, יצא עתק מפיכם, כי אל דעות אדוני ולא נתקנו עלילות. קושת גיבורים חטאים ונכשלים עזרו היל. שבעים בלחם נזכרו, ורעבים חדלו, עד עקרה ילדה שיבה, ורבת בנים אומללה. אדוני ממת ומחיה, מוריד שאול ויעל. אדוני מוריש ומעשיר, mashpil af romaim, mekim me'afar dal, me'ashpot yarim evyon, lahoshiv im nidivim, v'hisei chavod yanchilem, ki l'Adonai metzu ke'eretz, vayeshet alehem tevel. Ragle hasidav yishmor, urshaim b'choshech yidamu, ki lo b'koach yegabar ish. Adonai yechatu mrivav alav bashamayim yarem. Adonai yadin efsei eretz vayitain oz lamalko vayarem keren mishicho. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech kolam Tzadik b'chol adorot ha'el ha'ne'eman v'yomer v'yoseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh v'al yom hazikaron hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yiparach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed udvarcha emet v'kayam la'ad baruch ata Adonai melech kol haaretz mekadesh hashabat v'Yisrael v'yom hazikaron.
Thank you so much for blessing us this way on this special day. And before we return to our service with some prayers for our community and for Israel, I want to first invite our fearless leader, hopefully fearless, Alana Dunoff, to share some words with our community.
I know, thank you. No, I'm going to use it. I'm doing this a while. Oh yeah, that's better too. Hi everyone. It's so nice to see everybody here. Okay, here we go. So over the past several months, I have been accumulating a pile of sticky notes and scraps of paper with different ideas, thoughts, and witty metaphors in preparation for today's Rosh Hashana Day 1 speech. I researched the USCJ's President Google chat, I read the Jewish Exponent, and because I was encouraged by Glenn and a little curious, I even asked ChatGPT for some Rosh Hashanah speech inspirations. Some of them were good and some of them, As I sorted through my pile of sticky notes, trying to decipher my handwriting, I realized that many of them referred to my experiences in my garden. The both simple and complex growing process of seeds, soil, sun, and pollinators, my top 10 lessons learned, the magic and marvel of Mother Nature, and how growing a community is similar to growing a garden. They both need to be properly nourished to flourish. I like talking about my garden. It's a very happy place for me. It's a place of wonder, experimentation, challenges, and joyful successes. I also had quite a bounty this year of flowers and vegetables, so I'm feeling particularly proud of myself and my accomplishments. For months, I was certain that sewing together gardening and community was exactly the right message for my speech. But as I sat down to write the ideas that were in my head into something inspiring and compelling on paper, it started to read more like a farmer's almanac, and it began to feel a little trite. My garden metaphor was not blooming. More than a little frustrated and the clock ticking, I went back to my stickies. I had notes suggesting I share highlights from our past year, as well as a preview of coming attractions for what I believe will be a fabulous year ahead. But it felt like the article I wrote for my last month's newsletter, and I have to assume you all read that, right? I also reread last year's speech about belonging and strengthening our Kehillah Kadosha, and it was really good, so then I was feeling even more pressure. So now you all know, with little more than a week before high holiday services, my speech was not even close to done, and I was feeling a bit stuck. But why? Why was this happening to me? I had been so certain about what I wanted to say. For those who know me well, know that I believe in and trust the process. That's for you, Gersh. I have been teaching and speaking for decades. I have been stuck before. There must be a reason why, and there must be a path. Emily Fletcher, a meditation expert I like, suggests that instead of asking, why is this happening to me, to rephrase the question to ask, why is this happening for me? Reframing the question opens the aperture to new perspectives. So to clear my head and become open to new ideas, I went to our first Kehillah Shabbat service, which, by the way, was wonderful. It was full of music and ruach and song, and I highly recommend you come to the next one in October or November, December. We got them all year long. But during dinner, a few congregants actually inquired about the status of my speeches, assuming they were already complete. But I came clean and said, no, I'm actually still looking for inspiration. Later that evening, I finished my second viewing of season 3 of Ted Lasso. And I began wondering what Ted would say if he was the synagogue president on the high holidays. Oh, good, lots of Ted Lasso fans. Probably something about believe, barbecue sauce, and be a goldfish. So again, I went back to my now thinning pile of sticky notes, and I found one more idea that I had forgotten about. In August, we moved our oldest daughter, Dahlia, into college. We had some time to explore, so we hung out in a really cool hip spot with a food hall and a lot of local artists and shops. It was called Ponce City Market. I was checking out some of the artists, someone making funky hats, another who had repurposed textiles into new creations. And then I came across a small shop with some basic apparel, t-shirts, shorts, hats, and all the items had one simple message. They said the word we with a period. We. I stood there taking it all in, dozens of pieces of clothing with a one-word message of we, period. The artist, Kareem Manuel, asked me what came to my mind as I saw the message of we, period. My immediate answer was community. That we are all in this world together, no matter your belief, your politics, the color of your skin, or the language you speak. We are the ones responsible for making our world a better and safer place. We are responsible for accepting and caring for each other. For me, we is community. I asked Kareem about his inspiration. Where did this idea come from? He shared his story with me about how he had been obese and his doctors were concerned about his health, and how he had felt he had no control over himself, his community, and the world